glad to be here this evening to take you through the happenings in the world of sport. Our focus this evening on the show will be centered around the massive improvement of the Super Eagles in terms of the FIFA rankings. Plus the UEFA Champions League. It makes a return tonight as Inter Milan welcome Arsenal at the San Siro Stadium. All this and many more is going to form the bulk of our conversation here this evening on the show. But I will take a quick break. When I'm back, we'll get to discuss all these and many more other exciting stories on the show this evening. All right, you're welcome back from that short break. I'm not here alone this evening because Kingsley Emmanuel is here with me to take a look at some of the exciting stories that we have for you on the show this evening. Kingsley, good evening and welcome to Sport Extraordinary.
Mike, thank you very much. Nice to be here this evening.
Nice to be here on the UEFA Champions League nights like this. I can tell you that there are games that are currently ongoing, and I can tell you that Club Rouge is currently leading Carrot Amate 2 goals to nothing as we speak. Right now, we'll do it to serve you the full result before we leave the building this evening. But then, before we head to the UEFA Champions League, let's start from the home scene because former Nigerian Football Federation President Ameju Amarvin Pinnick has confirmed he has no intention of returning to the leadership of the body, ending years of speculation about a potential third stint. Speaking to sportmen at Morocco, the administrator said he is still relatively young at 55 years old and technically capable of continuing as NFF president, but he has no intention of seeking yet another term in office. Pinnick led the NFF from 2014 to 2022, serving 2 full terms and also leading a different position rather heading different position in the global football, right from Africa down to the global level. Kingsley, the rumors, were making around that Amaju Melvin Pinnick was trying to, come back into office to seek a third term in office as a NFF president. But then he has come out to debunk such a rumor, despite the fact that, according to him, that he's still very young, that even if he wanted to, he would have done that at the age of 55, but then he's not thinking of such. Do you think that there is anything that, we are missing Amaju Pinnick in office that would have warranted him to even try considering the idea of coming back?
I don't think, there's something we could be missing, at this point in time, about Amaju Melvin Pinnick being the president of the Nigerian Football Federation. Is there anything, we should miss at this point in time? You ask yourself, when he was the president, for about 8 years, what did you really achieve? Those are the things, of course, we look at for this point in time. What did we really achieve? The same issue was what, of course, what we're experiencing now is the same thing we're experiencing during a time. Players' bonuses, allowances, where it was a huge struggle for it and all of that. You talk about football development. If things, if Amaju Pinnick might have, done things properly, in a proper way, what we are going through today in football wouldn't have been going through all of this. Maybe would have been enjoying all what he has done. But at this point in time, there's nothing we're enjoying. Are you talking about, the sporting infrastructure? How many standard stadium do we have, all right, in the country? All right, these are things, of course, you look at for as the president of the Nigerian Football Federation. You need to look at for these things. Sporting infrastructure. You liaise with the National Sport Commission. You go to maybe liaise with different state governments. How do you have a standard stadium, in your state that, of course, can enhance football development in the state as well as the country? So you look at it today, we cannot boast of, having like 3 to 5, standard stadiums, in the country. What's the state of things? Even when we talk about our local football, the Nigerian Premier Football League, how far or how well is the league, at this point in time? All right, so you take a look at all of this and you ask yourself, if Amaju was here, would things, would things remain like this? Would there be a change, and all of that? You can't really say so, because during this time, after 8 years, was there any tangible thing? Was there a massive change? That's the thing you look at for at this point in time. So for me, I think we'll just try to see what Gusso, of course, will bring, to the table. He's been there, for some time now, and we've not really seen any change. Players are still complaining of match bonuses, and all of that. So you talk about the infrastructure. We don't really, there's no, when you talk about development of infrastructure, we're not seeing that. The league will continue having, issues. We've not seen a very, very standard sponsor in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Are we talking about the glamour for the league to be on TV, which up till now we've not been able to achieve that? So these are things, you talk about. Amaju, will he be able to change the situation of things, the face of football, in the country? These are things you look at for to say, oh, if Amaju was here, we wouldn't have been going through, all of this, at this point. What did he do? Even when he had a position in the FIFA Council and all of that, what was he able to do, for the country in terms of, sport development or football development? So for me, I don't think it's even what we should be discussing at this point in time, because Amaju coming back, I don't really see, a massive change, because when he was there, he has all the powers, within him, even in FIFA and in CAF. What was he able to use that influence to do? You ask yourself. All right? After we gave him all the support, go ahead, he went in there, won the election. So what did you gain back? These are the things you look at for you. So go, Amaju, if he was here, maybe all these things would have been happening to us, but you can't even dream about it. Also, talk about Amaju at this point in time. So for me, we should just look out for the way forward. Keep praying, and see if maybe God will send someone that really understand this game, and see how to bring massive development. Someone like Mikel Obi has been talking about being the NFF president only if they will take out corruption. But I don't know how that one, of course, will happen, because if you want to look at it, very well, you want to see that corruption is part of the game, and all of that. So we'll just see how this one, of course, will go. But talking about missing Amaju Pinnick, as the Nigerian Football Federation president, I don't think any Nigerians will even want to do that. Except those that are really, of course, close to him at this point in time.
All right, we'll see how it comes out, but I can tell you that under the leadership of Amajo Melvin Pinnick, Nigeria also failed to qualify for the last World Cup. Yes, we could not attend that World Cup because Amajo Melvin Pinnick was in office from 2014 down to 2022, meaning that we missed the one World Cup under his leadership. But then let's see what this one, where this one goes. But he has come out very plain to clear the air, saying that he has no intention or whatsoever to returning back as the General Supremo of the Nigerian Football Federation. Away from that, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have surged to 26th place in the latest FIFA World Ranking released on Monday, recording a remarkable 12th place jump. The Nigerian national team climbed from 38th position after an impressive outing at the 2025 African Cup of Nations in Morocco, where they finished third overall. The Super Eagles are now a third best team in Africa behind AFCON winners Senegal, ranked 12th globally, and Morocco placed 8th in the world. Algeria and Egypt occupy 4th and 5th positions, respectively. On the African rankings, meanwhile, Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, and Croatia makes up the world top 10 teams. Kingsley, are you surprised that the Super Eagles took such massive leap? From 38, they jumped 12 places, to 26. This is more like long time that we've been at this very place. It's been, we've been shuffling between 36, 38, 41 for the last majority of, few months. But then this is the first time in a very long while that the Super Eagles will be moving to 26 in the world. All, credit should go to Eric Chell, isn't it?
Yeah, Eric Chell and the players, at this point, I think credit should go to them because they had a very impressive performance, down to the semi-final stage of the just concluded, African Cup of Nations. So, for me, when they took out the likes of Algeria, in the quarterfinal, and went to the semi-final to play, Morocco, the host nation, and were able to get 2-2 with them, down to 120 minutes in that encounter, and being hosted out, in penalty shootouts. I knew that the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they really stepped up that game. And not just that, they also beat Egypt, in the third place game, to tell you that, they're really much, intense side. So for me, it was a brilliant display for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and we can't take that away from the tactical masterclass of Eric Chell, in this competition. Right from the group stage, they head down to the, knockout stage as well, the quarterfinal, down to the semi-final, scoring a lot of goals. I tell you, so for me, I'm not really surprised, because taking a look at the performance, in the African Cup of Nations, it was, putting up that leap, in the FIFA ranking. So for me, I think it's a good job. We just hope that they continue in this same fashion, all right? We just hope they continue in this same fashion. We just hope that it won't be a one-off thing. Thank God we have a coach like Eric Chell, and based on the body language from the Nigerian Football Federation, I think the man, of course, will continue his job as the Super Eagles head coach. So we hope to see more of beautiful football from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We have the players, Akor Dams, we have Chide Ejuke, we have Osimhen, we have Ademola Lookman. So we have the players scattered everywhere. So I think we don't have any worries. It's just for the manager to be able to make use of these players from what we've seen so far. And for me, from what we've seen, he has been able to at least been able to prove something with them. And like I said, if he's been given time, I think Eritrea is really going to do more with the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
If given time, Eric Chair will do more for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. This is the first time in a long while where the Super Eagles have surged to 26th position in the latest FIFA ranking. It's been a very difficult one in terms of massive leap for Super Eagles in the ranking, as they've been shuffling within 36, 38, and 41st position in the last few months. But then the coming in of Eric Chell has been able to transform this team for good. They are growing in leaps and bounds as we speak right now, courtesy of their impressive outing. They just concluded African Cup of Nations. They've also jumped to 12th places, down to 26th in the world and 3rd in Africa as we speak. We say very good one for the Super Eagles. We hope that they will continue with this fine momentum we've seen, under Eric Chell going forward. But let's talk about the English Premier League, because the ex-Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney believes Manchester United supporters were given a rare reminder of a club's glory days after witnessing a change in the atmosphere that he likened to the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Rooney said the home crowd felt something that has been missing for more than a decade, suggesting the energy inside Old Trafford during the Manchester derby echoed the intensity and belief that defined Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson. Kingsley, I know you watched that game. Not too many saw that one coming. Manchester United, beating Manchester City, not just beating them 2-0, but the way and manner they were able to control the game and pressured Manchester City right from the blast of the whistle down to the end of the game. And ex-United, player Wayne Rooney has come out to, of course, give his assessment. He said that Michael Carrick revived Manchester United and brought back the spirit of Manchester United, what they used to know in 10 years ago during the time of Sir Alex Ferguson. Do you agree with him?
In just one game? That's a big question. Now can we just conclude, oh, he has brought back this and that in just a game? All right, maybe they were just being lucky in that encounter. So we cannot just use one game to say, oh, Carrick has brought back the way Manchester United used to play in the days of Sir Alex Ferguson. Have they met Arsenal? No, these are things we talk about. Have they met Aston Villa? No,
But Manchester City is one of the top sides.
But City have not been prolific. Manchester City have not been prolific. Even before that game, they struggled in their last 2 games. What are we saying? Manchester City have not been prolific. So we cannot just say because they were able to beat City and now they're now playing like the days of Sir Alex Ferguson. No, we can't just, conclude at that. Let's see what comes up with Carrick, in the next 5 games. If they will be at least, maybe instead of 5 games, at least he wins 3. Draw 1 or probably even though lose 1, hell can say, okay, Carrick is doing something, at United. For me, I think what really happened on that day was the impression of a new manager on board. The players were just so, excited and tried to prove themselves, on the pitch of play. Or maybe trying to tell the fans that there is hope, at this point in time. No doubt, they had a good display. I love the way they were able to control the game and took their chances. That was what saved United in that encounter. They really took their chances. When you talk about play, City played, but United were able to conserve the game and took their chances. That was what make them stood out in that particular encounter. It was a very good display from them. But we cannot just say because they beat Manchester City. City has not been fantastic. Take a look at what they're doing with Arsenal when it comes to the title race. When they are supposed to even close the gap more, they are losing games, losing points. So I cannot say because they beat Manchester City, it means United are red. This thing happens. All right, you could see a lowly team, or a team that is not well informed, put up a very impressive performance. Who actually even thought that Burnley were going to draw against Liverpool over the weekend? That's the thing. Arsenal drawing against Nottingham Forest. So you could take a look at it that it was even a very bad weekend for big side in the Premier League. All right. So for me, I can't just sit down and sit down here and say, oh, Carrick is back. He has brought back everybody talking about DNA, the Manchester United DNA and all of that. I won't really consent to that until I see Carrick, playing about 5 to 6 games and winning about 3 or 4. I could say, okay, maybe the man is trying to bring something back, of course, to the team. Beating Manchester City, yes, City are a big side, but you talk about the current form of City, they are not top-notch. If it was City, let's say 3 seasons ago, I don't think that result, of course, would have been what we saw, in that encounter. So let United fans pipe low. Let their supporters pipe low, all right? There is still a whole lot to play for, and they will see if Carrick has really come to change things, because there's a whole lot, down there at Manchester United. They've brought in several managers, and nothing seems to change, all right? So now that Carrick has come, I know that Carrick will even want to pile up more pressure. He will want to make sure that things, go very well due to the fact that he's working on interim basis. He wants to see if he can get a permanent job down there at Manchester United, and that's why you're seeing this pressure coming at this point. He wants to make quick impression to tell the management that I can do the job going forward. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed and see what comes up. Maybe in the next 5 to 6 games, we'll see how United perform, and then we can say, okay, maybe it's taking them back to their glory days.
Michael Carrick, the man, the aim of affair for Manchester United, trying to bring back the memories of Sir Alex Ferguson era. This is what Wayne Rooney has come out to say after that impressive display against Manchester City over the weekend, where they enjoyed all 3 points in a game that many thought it was going to be a difficult one for Manchester United at the Old Trafford, but then they proved the doubters wrong under Michael Carrick. Kingsley is saying this is just the first game, trying to create an impression, but can he do this? Can he replicate this fifth in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 games? If he does, then that is when Kingsley will truly believe that the spirit of Sir Alex Ferguson is back at Old Trafford. But for now, we just need to wait a bit, and the Manchester United fans should not be that excited, so that their hope will not be shattered. Away from that, former England striker Alan Shearer has criticized the decision to book Diogo Dalot during Sunday's Manchester derby, insisting the challenge should have earned a red card. The incident saw referee Anthony Taylor issue a yellow card, a decision supported by video assistant referee Craig Paulson, who described the contact as glancing and not with excessive force. Shearer argued that Taylor may have struggled to see the full extent of the challenge in real time. The VAR officials had sufficient footage to make a clear-cut decision for a send-off. The ruling has ignited a debate among pundits and fans, highlighting ongoing discussion about the VAR inconsistency and the different standard officiating in the English Premier League. The VAR issue, Kingsley, has been one that every season we'll keep talking about this. Last season, it was majorly Liverpool. 2 seasons ago, it was Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, coming out to voice their displeasure. This season, Alan Shearer has come out again to voice his displeasure regarding VAR decisions. Some have said that the decisions of VAR are inconsistent. Sometimes they judge this to be a foul, but in a similar case in another match, they will judge it not to be a foul. So people tend to get confused about the consistency of the VAR. But then, I don't know what your position about the video assistant referee. Has it aided games in terms of proper decision making, or it has further compounded the argument and chaos in football?
I think it's both. VAR has assisted in making football games, better. And as well, it has also brought a lot of, it has also brought harm, to the game because of, some of the decisions that some persons might have thought maybe have gone, wrongly, and all of that. So you take a look at, the video assistant referee. But one thing we should have at the back of our mind that no matter the decision of the video assistant referee, it is the center referee that interprets it and come to tell the people or tell the teams this is what the decision is. It is center referee that take the final decision. After reviewing, the VAR shows you the angle, review again how the action went through. It is the referee that reads those angles and comes up with a decision. So at the end of the day, the referee comes up with a decision and they blame the video assistant referee. Whereas it's the referee that comes up, with this. They say, okay, this is what the video assistant referee showed me.
Yeah.
And this is my decision on this. So at this point in time, I think we need to try to see how to find balance between the referee and the video assistant referee, at this point in time. Who should take up the final decision? So far so good. It's been the center referee taking up the final decision after doing his review, and all of that. So, and another thing we should look at for this point is even these video assistant referee machines are controlled by humans. They're controlled by human beings. So the human beings tailored the machine to probably what he needs to do.
Yes.
And the machine does that. So if you look at it, all right, 60% of this, is the humans that control it. Humans make 60% of the decision. The machine also, the video assistant referee, device just get a view, review it, and you take your decision. So at the end of the day, I think the referees are the one we should be even looking at this point in time, rather than blaming the video assistant referee, blaming the video assistant referee. Referees should try most times to be fair with decisions. They should be able to look at review and read it very well and not be biased at this point in time. I think this is what we need. Referee, you understand we in the Premier League, we have well-trained referee, but sometimes we see some calls that are not, right. And at the end of the day, you blame the video assistant referee that it was the video assistant referee, but forgetting that it's the center referee that took that decision, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So for me, I think, at this point in time, we should be more interested in trying to see if the referees can be fair and try to get that decision spot on. Because sometimes some of these decisions that are being carried out affect this team. Just like you mentioned, 2-3 seasons ago, Arsenal were affected. Their title race was being affected due to some of these decisions, and all of that. So for me, I think if the referees are spot on, if of course they are able to read and interpret the review from the video assistant referee very well and come up with the good decisions, would not be seeing all of this, talking about video assistant referee, has he done more harm than good, in football and all of that. Bulk of this decision comes from the referees. And I think for me, that is where we should be looking out for in trying to make sure that these referees are good enough to officiate a game and as well make good decisions. Some of these things will not be hearing them, talking about the video assistant referee.
All right, the controversy still surrounds about the deployment of video assistant referee. Some are for and some are against because of the controversial decisions that comes via the video assistant referee since it was introduced. But I can tell you largely it has helped to, of course, further clear certain areas where the center ref might not just be close to the thick of the action where such a foul is being committed, but then whenever he gets down to the video assistant, they'll call him to come and take a review, and I think it has greatly improved the level of officiating. All right, let's talk a bit of tennis before we head straight to the UEFA Champions League. Of course, you know that the Australian Open is currently on at the Yannick Sinner quest for a third successive Australian Open title began in ominous fashion early hours of today as he dominated a two-set before France Hugo Caston abruptly retired in a letdown for the Lavia Arena crowd in his first official match since beating Carlos Alcaraz for the ATP Finals crown over 2 months ago. The Italian world number 2 turned to a 6-2, 6-1 lead in just over an hour, racking up 19 winners on court. He has ruled for 2 good years right now. So, Kingsley, the Australian Open actions coming fast and thick for some of the notable names, both in the male and in the female category. No big-time upset per se, as some of the regular names, Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner, as they've all, gotten an easy way to the next round.
Yeah, it's been an impressive first round for the big boys. In the male category, Djokovic, Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner, to say at this point in time, the likes of, Taylor Fritz, Stefanos Tsitsipas, they've gotten an easy ride. We'll just keep our fingers crossed, and see how it goes. It's just the first round of the competition. We'll see what the second and the third round, of course, will bring. I think that's where it will really get tough, and we'll see how far, of course, these players, will go. For the big boys, how have they fared so far? For Djokovic, he didn't really get to convincing stats, and you ask yourself, with the fact that he didn't get to convincing stats, really, how far will he go, in the competition? But that's Djokovic for you. Sometimes he starts very poorly, but as he continues, and then you see what, of course, is made up of, as he stands. Jannik Sinner as well had a little bit of complaint of not being good at thinking himself. I think he also talked about the fact that he really needs to improve, of course, going forward. So we'll see what comes up, for these big guys, knowing that a lot is at stake as well, for them. Djokovic looking forward to get his 25th Grand Slam title. Jannik Sinner looking forward, of course, to win another Australian Open after, of course, he did that, I think, last time, to say. So for me, I think it's been a whole lot. It's just the first round. We'll look forward to see what the second and the third round, holds for these guys.
All right, we'll see what the second and third round holds for the regular names out there in the Australian Open, as the big names players are still there, making their way through to the next round with ease, a session of the big man, talking about the Serb, Novak Djokovic, who, some said he struggled on convincing victory for him, but then a win is a win. He gets himself prepared for the next round of the competition. But let's head back to the world of football, because it's a big night of football, as Inter Milan at the San Siro welcomes Arsenal Football Club for the UEFA Champions League clash tonight, as both teams top their respective leagues. In the Italian Serie A, Inter Milan sit first in the position, while in the English Premier League, Arsenal maintain first position with 7-point advantage over second place Manchester City. But tonight, both teams meet at the San Siro, as Inter Milan will be hoping to take all 3 points against already qualified Arsenal, who are the first team to head to the next round of the UEFA Champions League, talking about the round of 16, after winning all her first game. Kingsley, it is a game of equal proportion, a game of equal strength for both sides, because both teams top their leagues out there. In the Italian Serie A, Inter tops, in English Premier League, Arsenal tops, even in the UEFA Champions League, Arsenal have been topping all the leagues from all angles, and they've been very good. But then in their last 2 games, it seems to be a bit of a struggle, especially over the weekend, drawing against Nottingham Forest. Not too many saw that one coming. And for Inter, they won their weekend game in the league. But this is the UEFA Champions League. The dance is always different. How do you see this one panning out tonight?
Let's just see how it goes. You talk about this game. I don't think Arsenal probably might be coming all out, or maybe trying to fill in their top players, in this one. Looking at the fact that I think they are through to the next round of the competition already. They're seated top of the Champions League, table in a very comfortable position. So I don't think Arsenal will want to maybe, win this at all costs. A draw is even good for them. But looking at the fact that they've actually drew 2 games coming down to this one, Arteta will want to maybe change the narrative, try to see how they can bounce back to winning ways. It's really been difficult for Arsenal in their last two games, and it's not a good omen for them, looking at the fact that they are looking for a way to win something tangible this season. Maybe the Premier League or the League Cup, we talk about, the Champions League. But talking about the major, at this point in time, what the fans are really looking out for is the Premier League or the Champions League. So I think maybe in this encounter, he might want to try to see how to fill in some of the guys, or maybe just try to hold the game. A draw will be better, but I think the fans will not really be happy. Getting a win away from home will be a huge boost of morale, for the players as well as the fans in terms of their pursuits, this season. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed. But when you want to look at it currently, you want to say Inter are very good, and they look likely, of course, to take up this one if Arsenal do not really come up with their A game. I think this is the time, this is the period Arsenal really have to be creative. I watched them against Nottingham Forest. They were relying much on set pieces, and all of that. You have to be creative. You have to see how to, of course, go beyond the ordinary. See how you can penetrate into the 18-yard box and get your goal. They did that when they started earlier this season, but the last two games, we haven't seen that brilliance, from Arsenal. So I just hope that, in this encounter, they try to see how to go beyond the ordinary and, of course, step up their performance.
Go beyond the ordinary. Yes, that is a message out there as we are talking about Sport Extraordinary right here on Atlantic Television Network. It is the UEFA Champions League night, and Arsenal are traveling away from home to play Inter Milan at the San Siro Stadium. We can tell you that Club Brugge, currently they are on the front foot against Karat Almaty, 2-0 as we speak. Meanwhile, other matches that is set to light up your TV screen tonight, we see Bodo Glimt at home welcoming Manchester City, while Copenhagen will trade tackles against Napoli by 8 p.m. Olympiacos welcome Bayern Leverkusen by 8 p.m. as well. Los Blancos, talking about Real Madrid, will be at home against AS Monaco. Sporting Lisbon will play host to Paris Saint-Germain, while Tottenham Hotspur, with their under-fire coach Thomas Frank, welcome Borussia Dortmund. Villarreal will be at home against Ajax. Tottenham Hotspur, Kingsley, the manager, Thomas Frank, he has been under pressure. Some have said he's going to be sacked because of the poor result, with Tottenham Hotspur. Tonight, it's a situation will either be compounded or at least it's going to ease a sigh of relief. Do you see Tottenham winning tonight?
Let's just say it is. Thomas Frank started well with Tottenham, but I think the tempo has dropped, from what we're seeing of recent. I just hope that, he find a way to revive the side. Because, of course, Tottenham Hotspur, they don't play with poor performance. If you don't really come up with a very impressive performance, you could be fired. All right, just like we've seen other managers, of course, also being fired as well. So we'll just hope that, Thomas Frank will get the job done. Ange Postecoglou, with what he did, even winning them the Europa League, they even didn't allow him stay due to the poor performance in the Premier League. So if Frank doesn't put things, straight, it means he might be shown the exit door from the results. Of course, I think they lost over the weekend against West Ham. All right, so that was a very poor one to say at this point in time. So we just hope that at least he make a very good impression in the UEFA Champions League tonight.
Tonight is the night for Tottenham Hotspur and Thomas Frank to make a good impression, but they will be coming up against another traditional UEFA Champions League side, talking about Borussia Dortmund as well, who will be hoping to come play the spoilers against Tottenham Hotspur. Meanwhile, let's have you some transfer gist before we leave the building this evening, as Sheffield United have joined the list of clubs interested in Brentford midfielder Frank Onyeka. The Blade have formally inquired about Onyeka, according to Daily Mail. Kingsley, will you say this is an upgrade to Frank Onyeka? Sheffield in the Championship looking for his signature. We also hear that teams like Valencia and other teams across Europe are also looking for the services of Nigerian international.
Yeah, going to Sheffield, I don't think that's for me going to be a good one. Championship, going there to struggle. I think you should look for a better side, not going to the championship, of course, to struggle down there. Look for a better team, get a good agent, see how you can be able to strike a good deal, with a very good club. Not going to championship, of course, to see how to bring Sheffield United back, to the Premier League. I think Onyeka should look out for a very good option, a very good club, of course, to play for, not going down to the championship in England.
All right, this is where we are forced to drop the anchor because we are running, against time on the show this evening. We hope that you enjoyed every bit of the discussion as the UEFA Champions League night continue bringing us a very insightful and, of course, exciting, showdown out there. Tomorrow morning we'll make a return by 7 a.m. to serve you the full results of tonight's UEFA Champions League and other top stories popping up from the world of sports. I did a show this evening alongside Kingsley Emmanuel, my co-host, and my name is Emmanuel Michael, the Prime Minister of the Airways, and we are saying gracias.
She no like it, got on naughty, but she go chop if you give her cucumber. Walk out from Transamadi till her leg begin shake her with a locumba. Baby, make her give you solid, make her even mix am with her lay and I walk pow. Hey, wait, let me tell you. She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. Yeah. She say till infinity, infinity, oh yo yo. She say make her put it in, put it in, no. She say till infinity, oh, infinity, oh, infinity, oh. She say make her put it in, put it in, no.
We are take Kalauska, cover me like babushka. Booty like to get my kinwa, and your body you different animal. Sangalo me like a JJ, make I beat on like I'm Sonny Wiki. It's what you do with the banana. Go determine if you go get us for banana. Very much show yourself, do what you do. Use Kayamata, you feel use Juju. They don't play me your tape for artillery. You they use collect boy salary. Make I put firewood for the fire. Send you the wire. Now you I go am and I no go retire. Bedroom voice be like say you did for the choir. Do re mi so lati do mi lala.
She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She say till infinity, oh yo yo. She say make her put it in, put it in, no. She say till infinity, oh, infinity, oh, infinity, oh. She say make her put it in, put it in, no. She say till infinity, infinity, oh yo yo. She say make her put it in,